God damn it. Okay, I'm Tony Tartaglia, Bangkok, Thailand, and we're going to talk a little bit about my days in Hombu Dojo and the beginning of my time in Japan. This is my student Jason, and he'll be asking the questions. So here we go.
Sensei, you went to Hombu a very long time ago. What was it like at that time, and what was it like to be one of the early foreigners to be there?
So it was 1974, and when I was walking down the street with Yamada Sensei and Kanai Sensei from Boston, Yamada from New York, and about 15 students from New York came with us. It was a 1-month tour. I could hear them. I could hear the thunder, and it was all the, having a class. I believe it was a morning class. I don't remember if it was, might have been the 9 to 10 class. So, yeah, I lived in the Hombu Dojo for off and on for that month upstairs on the 4th floor. The 3rd floor was the main hall, and the 2nd floor is the beginners class, and the 4th floor is for people. The Uchideshis live up there, and they have a women's class up there from time to time. So first question was, it was a big dojo. It's 100 mats, and the Tokonoma seems so far away, and small locker room, and 3 little showers, only cold water, and the mats were like concrete. So this is my first impression was, oh my God, these mats are killing me. They were tatami set into concrete and wrapped with a very rough canvas that cuts your feet and hands and face. It's kind of like sandpaper. So yeah, it was very mind-blowing because I learned from the first hour on the mats that, wow, you have to do ukemi right and get used to this hard concrete floor.
With the teachers, how were they in the beginning? Who were some of your early senseis that you made an impression?
Okay, well, if you come in, when you bow into the mats, you go in the back of the dojo, you bow in. There's a board up on the left, and you hang your key on that board for your locker key, and above it is the what classes are taught by what senseis. And there were 5 a day, 6:30 to 7:30, 8 to 9, half hour in between, and then you have the 3 to 4 class in the afternoon, and then you have a beer?
Yeah.
Beer. Don't forget beer. Very important for Budo is beer. And 2 at night. 5:30 to 6:30 is usually the biggest class after work, and the 6:30 to 7:30 is always taught by the son of O-sensei, who was alive at that time. So there were too many businessmen in that class, so most of us moved on to another class, and I happened to pick Watanabe Sensei, who at that time was a chiropractor, and a wonderful, friendly man, never hurt you, but extremely strong and powerful, and he became my sponsor to get an apartment, and so, but there were many others I liked. There was some teachers, like Okamuda was a 9th dan, and he was teaching only the beginner's class. Couldn't figure that out. And then there was Endo, who's the #1 teacher now, and he was the afternoon teacher there, very muscular guy. So we had, it's kind of like in high school, you have a homeroom class, so most people went to different teachers. The French, like Yamaguchi Sensei, of course, he was very, and very interesting, smoked 5 packs a day. A lot of them like Masada, very strong, very strict. Sasaki was very weird, with a weird eye, and he didn't like foreigners. So there were many. And then
so you would pick your sensei, and you would generally try and stay with him?
Yeah, you basically, you just go to his classes, and he figures out you like him if you come, and they talk about you, I guess, and then you take, and maybe they say, who knows what they say about us. I don't want to know. You don't want to know. But in those days, everybody's a white belt or a black belt.
Yeah.
So I came as a Nikyu, first brown is I was going to test for first brown, which I did later, and then I went on. But yeah, and you then, depending on your job, everybody teaches their language. So, okay, if you've only got 5:30 to 6:30 off, and your girlfriend's waiting for you, or your wife, you take that class. Okamura was the most beloved, and he was a 10th Dan, and he was kind of like O-sensei's brother, you know, and he was Friday evening, so his class was very beautiful, and I had an honor to be his uke many times. One time I came out and I grabbed him, it was Marote Tori, and he said to me quietly, "Tony, are you sick?" And I said, "No." He says, "Then why are you holding me so like a fish?" And I went, "I don't know, I'm hold me." And then I went airborne, you know, 6 mats over, you know. But, you know, I just thought he was an old guy. I should not hold him so hard. I didn't know. And he was like O-sensei. He was the closest to the energy and he was in the O-sensei zone. O-sensei's son was very different than his father. He was very practical and very good, but I believe to this day he was the one that helped me forget the war in Vietnam. He always used me as uke. He was always saying hello to me. He even came to warm me up many times, and so I took all of them. Some, like Yamaguchi, I just couldn't take his class. I didn't know what was going on, and Sasaki didn't like gaijin, so I didn't take his class. So you gravitate towards someone that's like anything else in life. So, yeah.
So when you go to Hombu today to visit, is this a similar feel to what it was back then?
What do they say? Nothing remains the same. I look around, and there's still a few of the old timers there that know me. They're all 8th Dans now and 9th Dans or whatever, I don't know. And they have a corner in the left front of the dojo, left side of Tokonoma. It's called the Silver Corner. Only the highest ranks go there, so I always go over there because they're all the guys. They were all Sandans when I was Shodan. So, but no, it's the foreigners are different now. There's just too many gaijin in the dojo, and it's kind of a. For example, I went in there once traveling about 8 years ago. I walked in, and they look at me like, "Who's this fat old guy?" and whatever. And so I throw my card in. Everybody throws their card down, and it's stamped. And you can only get 1 hour a day, one stamp, even though you take 5 hours a day. So they all kind of like, ugh. And I said, "How are you? Hello, whatever." And so I'm nobody. But when I came out, they're all like this when they see me, because my number goes back about 40 years. And they go, "Oh, he must be somebody. Oh my God!" And of course they probably asked one of the teachers, and they go, "Oh, that's Tony. He doesn't live here anymore." But I stayed about 10 years, and but there is a feeling. Of course, there's always that feeling, and people run up to me. I come in the 6:30 class. Japanese black belts run up to me. "Would you like to train with me?" They're still friendly, and maybe they think I'm just on my last leg of life and I can barely make it, and they're trying to help me, and so I have an easy class, you know. But no, it's not the same. But when you talk to some of the old gang, yeah, it's the same. But yeah, it's you know, everything changes. But I'm sure if I went back and stayed for a month, I'd meet a lot of my old friends who are still there. But I don't know many people anymore. It's mostly for my students. I try to go once a year and hoping to take him soon, and for the experience and the fun. I've been there in Mecca. I've been there.
Good.
There. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Sensei.
So, yeah, we could talk a lot about that, but it's just the essence. But the secret to the Hombu was ukemi. Mm-hmm. You have to get where you don't go home in agony every night, because you don't No, of course, as you're older, they're not going to throw you as hard. But when you're young, they're going to put you through your paces. And in those days, I was the only long hair. So they wanted me to cut my hair from day one. So they threw me by my hair. They wouldn't let me wear my glasses. I couldn't see anything. I didn't know what I was doing. Sometimes the sensei would call me out, like Masa, and he'd slap me in the face. He'd knock me down because I attacked the wrong way. It was I Hamni instead of Gyaku. I can't tell. And of course, I didn't speak but 6 words of Japanese, so it sounded like Klingon. So it was a lot of roadblocks until finally, 6 months later, I could, my body was saying, okay, this is okay, I can do ukemi. And that was what got me noticed, because that's what they look at. Can he be a good uke? Can I call him out? Does he understand Kihon Waza? Is he a regular, or is he just, come and go whenever? And you're not supposed to come late. That's very bad. They notice it. And you don't leave early. They notice that. So, and no, you're supposed to also help in the dojo when they have some kind of a New Year's thing or everything. That you've got to clean and sweep and carry tables, whether you're drunk or sober. So attitude is very important. Consistency, repetition, and you're not always injured. All right? Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
That's part 1. We'll have another one soon. Thank you.